Here we are, hitting up events, drinking our way through Chicago beer, and trying not to miss a thing.
Yeah, because, got a cork popped out, boom, it flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it.
All you have to do is add some fruit, stir it up, and ride that milkshake wave.
Whenever I see him, I gotta take a photo with the most decorated brewer in Chicago, Jonathan Cutler.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. You ever go to, every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Sometimes you want a small beer, but really, you want a big beer.
You gotta take in all those big aromatic hops.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Waiting in line for a bottle release?
You should have never been a fad. The black IPA is delicious.
Hey, and welcome to our second Versus. We did Chug Life. We did Miller High Life. Now it's craft versus craft.
Yeah,
Michigan versus Illinois.
Yeah, man. Kalamazoo, the zoo, versus,
Hermosa.
Yeah. The old Hermosa.
If you don't know who those two are, we've got Pipeworks. This is their Sure Bet it's a double IPA.
Sure Bet.
Right.
I kept hearing sherbet when it was described to him.
It's also like a rainbow thing on it, so I would think you would think sherbet, right?
Yeah.
It's a IPA or a double IPA brewed with honey and mango. So we
Right.
picked these two because they're both double IPAs with honey.
Right. And I didn't realize the mango puree aspect until just now when we read it.
Okay. And then the other one is Bell's Hopslam, which just got released. This one was packaged on 01/09. So yeah, what's that? We're recording this on the 19th, so 10 days ago. But Hopslam is a beast. It comes in at, 10%?
Yes.
And then, what do we got in Sherbet? Sherbet, 9.5. So, if your versus winner is in alcohol alone, Bell's wins.
Yeah, man.
If you're looking to get the drunkest, fastest, go Hopslam.
And none of you out there are looking to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Some days I want to be overwhelmed, though, so I can't speak for everybody.
I picked up the Hopslam, and you picked up you had the Sherbet.
Yeah.
Hopslam comes in 6-pack, 12-ounce for about $20.
Yeah. The sherbet was 4-pack tall boys, 16-ounce cans, for about $19.
Okay, so
Yeah.
similar price point. You're getting a little bit more, right? With our I'm not doing math versus the
16 and 16.32, so 64. So you're getting a growler of the sherbet
right
for about $20.
Okay, so yeah, they're really close, but I prefer if I'm getting a 10% beer, I'd rather see it in 10-ounce cans versus 16-ounce cans.
Yeah.
Personally, but that's a preference that not everyone's on board with.
Yeah, man. And then Hopslam for the longest time came in bottles. Now it's in cans. I mean, it's a walking giant amongst us, Brad. It's a 500-foot home run. They've been making this beer since I first started drinking beer in 2010, maybe just, craft beer.
They're part of that class of '88.
You're probably right.
Yeah, them, Rogue, Goose, Deschutes, that class of '88.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the best brewers in the history of the Midwest. Dare I say underrated, because I think, their IPA Two Hearted might be
Double Two Hearted.
the best of them all, honestly.
What about Little Two Hearted now?
Oh, they got Double Two Hearted. Double Two Hearted sucks.
Yeah.
It's all booze. Lil Two Hearted. Haven't had Lil Two Hearted. I hope they named it Lil.
Lil? Like a little, did they put it in little cans too? Like
Hearted? Like Lil
Hearted. That's their so low. That's their so low IPA.
That's their answer to so low. Yeah. But yeah, and then Hopslam. Hopslam was a game changer, man. I think, it's a winter IPA release, and then, like we said, it's the quintessential big badass Midwestern IPA for the longest time. Other beers are kind of caught up to it, much in the way that a lot of stouts have come within striking distance of Bourbon County. But you still remember that moment. They kind of led the category for a long time.
Yeah.
And there's still people get a buzz about it when it comes out.
Yeah, I feel like it was less so this time. It sort of less hype. There's so much beer getting released every week.
I think we're approaching 8,000 breweries.
Yeah,
It's tough. It's tough to maintain. Like, like I'd loved Dreadnought,
Yeah.
but it's not something I seek out. And I was, that was one of those, those awakenings, right? In your beer world was, first time you had Dreadnought, first time you had a beer like this. So it's cool to see it's just around. It's still around and it's still accessible. That's cool.
So should we start with that then? Since it's the classic. It's the second one we poured. It's a little darker. Like if we're gonna compare the beers.
Yeah.
Hopslam's a little darker, a little more. Do I say honey-like? But like roasty.
In color, it's
Yeah.
got a deeper gold color. The Hopslam does.
But
Yeah.
it's clearer. Like the Sure Bet is a little cloudier, murky water a little bit, but like brighter in color. Like that's fun to see. Like I wonder if the mango is adding like the brightness to it or like a little more color. But yeah, let's start Hopslam here.
Yeah.
Our dark roasted honey here. Yeah. I gotta dive in because these glasses, if you don't do a full pour, you get a lot of like detergent aroma. It's a big stemware.
Getting a little palm olive.
But yeah, those. Whew. Man, the like head on this, when you like swirl it around, it just like billows back up. It's kind of exciting.
Like vintage kind of ripe fruit notes and big hops on the nose.
Yeah.
Just that, as far as I can tell, it's like the same beer every time out, right? Which I'm on board with that.
Right. I don't know. I bet on their website they say the hops that are in here, but on the can it just says a blend of hops.
There's a variety of 6 hops in the Hopslam. Yeah.
I'm sure it's a lot of whatever they can get.
And I think it's like heavy dry hop with like Simcoe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I think that was a calling card for a long time for those Midwestern IPAs, right? Like have a sturdy malt backbone, but then
Throw a lot of hops in it.
a ton of hops in it, and then have it,
Get the alcohol up.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and have it so that it wasn't like an IBU war where it wasn't overly bitter, but you knew for sure that it was hopped up, So
It will sneak up on you as far as like drunkenness level. Like
dude, we're in trouble.
I don't need 6 cans of that beer, but when you have one, you're like, oh, what did I just do tonight? So we're doing these back to back with the Sure Bet, and they will sneak up on you.
There we go, man.
Sure Bet, that mango. Boy.
Right away. When you have it next to this beer we have it right next to Hopslam, the first thing you pick up is mango.
Man.
Very pleasant though. I like how it's almost like a mango rind. Like it's not just when you smell it, at least.
Yeah. It kind of billows back up, kind of like the Hopslam when you swirl it around, but it's not
skin, mango skin, I guess.
Skin.
They don't have rinds, right?
No. Yeah. It's way less aggressive than the Hopslam. Like that mango, it adds this like tropicalness to it that is kind of more pleasant.
Yeah, and from what we could tell, it's a Citra hop showcase, so everything about it is all like plush and bittersweet and delicious. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's definitely leaning on that end of the IPA spectrum.
If you're a New England IPA fan, a juicy IPA, hazy fan, the Sure Bet is like that perfect in-between IPA and haze. Like, because it has all those tropical things. It has the fruit notes that you're going to like from hazy, juicy beers.
But there's a grassiness that complements it too. So it's not like, it's not a juicy, it's not a juice bomb. It's not like a hazy juice bomb.
No, but it's it's like almost sweeter than, like, it's hard to, you could have like 2 hazy beers. You might not want to, but having 2 sherbets, that is, you're in for a reckoning. Like,
young man, you're in for a reckoning, young man. But then what I can appreciate about it is like the drinkability is there for the sherbet, and because the only thing you can compare it to is like a hazy beer, right? But then like those hazy beers have that, you know, we've talked about that hop burn in some of these beers, like you know, like a La Juice or a Beezer, where they're good and they're hazy and they're fruity, but then to mellow things out, there's like a distinct like white pepper or some sort of abrasive kind of hop burn in them.
There
Right.
are. I feel like those 2 actually don't have it to
No.
me, but like I know what you're saying. Like I don't want to. I think those 2 are like a class above them. Like they are gold winners for
Yeah.
a reason. Some of them do though have that, like, they hurt your throat.
And this one isn't doing that.
Well, yeah, and it's also not a hazy beer.
And it's not hazy, which is why I actually prefer this, even though it's similar in some ways to a hazy beer. I actually prefer this over haze.
Okay, so if you're in the store, the sherbet is definitely harder to come by than the Hopslam is, right? Like I have.
I'd say that it's a smaller.
Hopslam is at Whole Foods. I haven't seen sherbet at Whole Foods. Like that's where I got Hopslam, and I didn't see the sherbet there.
Yeah, that's definitely a smaller run than Hopslam.
Okay, so there's that. But I would kind of lean towards the sherbet if I was to pick it up, especially it's the same price point. It's almost the same alcohol level. Although I might, don't enjoy this 16-ounce format of it as much for this big of a beer. But if you're sharing it with 2 people, it's fine.
Yeah.
Which you should do with the 10% can
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, the Hopslam has big. I mean, there's earthy hops, there's piney hops, and there's a very thin hint of sweetness in it. But overall, it's very aggressively hopped with traditional hops, and a lot of those are bitter.
Yeah.
A lot of those are bitter in comparison to the sherbet, which is a much more rounder profile.
Do you think the point of the honey is just to mellow it out a little bit? Like, is it too, like, what's Hopslam without the honey? Like, is it just too aggressively hopped of a beer?
Or are they just looking to add that layer of flavoring, right?
Yeah.
And then there's this, I've never understood the Hopslam logo. Well, it's just a guy that's just kind of
He got
overwhelmed. He got slammed.
He got smashed by the hop. He got slammed down.
Like three gigantic hops.
Yeah.
This is a good beer, man. I mean, both of these are good. And it depends on what you're in the mood for, but yeah, I think.
Well, that's what we said last time.
Oh yeah, we did. We gotta quit towing that line. We gotta be more definitive.
It's a situation. What? Where you at? What are you going for?
Yeah.
Like High Life versus Chug Life was much more of a situation kind of thing, and I felt like it was more of a status thing. Both of these beers, if you showed up to a party with either of these, people know you like craft beer. There's not a status with either one you bring, right?
Yeah.
Like no one is going. No beer nerd is gonna look down at you for bringing Hopslam, and vice versa. So they know you like craft beer, right?
Yeah.
So they have the same status. Which is the better one? Which are you going for? If you saw them both, what are you picking up? I'm saying sherbet.
I gotta be honest with you. I think I'm going Hopslam.
Whoa.
I think
That
I'm going
is not
Hopslam.
what I expected.
I mean, sherbet's a fun ride. Don't get
It's
me
a
wrong.
sherbet.
I like the classic flavors in Hopslam, and then I had the second pour, and I made it a little bit bigger pour, and a little more of that honey's coming through.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, so I'm getting all these classic hop notes, and then I'm also getting this little hint of honey at the end, and it just, I don't know, it has that nostalgic vibe of beers that I first really loved when I got into beer, but then also on its own, regardless of its history, I like it, you know.
Okay. I like it. I like the history of it. I love to make sure I have a Hopslam when it comes out. It's sort of like Oberon. I want to have an Oberon. Like that's what Bell's does the best. Like I want to experience their lineup as they come out. Like Goose Island doesn't do that for me. They don't have like necessarily have some seasonal beers, but there's not like the season for this beer. I have to have it besides Bourbon County. Bell's comes out with these seasonal beers, and I'm like, well, I got to pick up some because it's around now. I got to try it, see what this year looks like. And
they don't change shit.
Right.
The label is the same as it was. It's like The Sopranos, like theme song, season 1. It's the same theme song whatever the last season was. Yeah. Or they didn't change anything, and they changed the format. And they've added some new stuff to the lineup. But yeah, you're right. I think over 12 months. There are very few Midwestern crews that bring it the way Bell's brings it.
Because, even just thinking of, like, Hopslam, you got Oberon. Is it the Comstock? The Stout?
Yeah, and Expedition Stout.
Expedition Stout.
I'm a big fan of the Oracle. That's where they're off-season. When Hopslam's out of season, the Oracles are double IPA.
And
I
then
did that. Official came out. You know what blew my mind from Bell's, man, was this 4-pack with... everyone had a Polaroid camera on it. I think they called it a party ale.
Oh, yeah. And if you've been listening to Chicago Beer Pass for a long time, that Oarsman that was at Fobab.
It was like an Oarsman with like black cherry or something?
Yeah, was that 3 years ago? That was my favorite beer.
Brad pointed it out, and I'm like, there's no way this can be what he's saying it is. And, I mean, sure as hell, it was quite nice.
I'm like a junkie, like chasing that like Fobab high. When I'm like, what's there? Is Oarsman here?
Yeah.
Like Oarsman's such a good like beach summer beer too. Like I don't know, like Bell's. Like I almost wish they were a Chicago brewery. Like I feel like almost like we think of Three Floyds as a Chicago brewery. Like I wish Bell's was a Chicago brewery.
Yeah, and I like what Pipeworks did here. They dialed up the lemon and tart orange notes already present in like a Citra hop with this mango addition, and I like it a lot. It's brighter, it's rounder than the Bell's offering is, and I really dig it. I give the slight edge to the Hopslam.
All right.
Yeah.
The slight. The alcohol percent. That's just winning you over.
This was fun. Yeah, it's got more of I don't want to say beer integrity because we use that word a lot, and one implies that one doesn't have integrity. And I think it just has more traditional Midwestern IPA profile that I'm appreciating right now.
I think you might be falling back on.
And I'm old. I'm like, why you dialed up all this goddamn fruit? Why are you dialing it up? Why can't you just?
I don't want that seltzer. Give me those hops.
Just let the hops do the fruit talking for you. Why are you dialing it up?
Cool. All right. That's going to do it for this Versus. If you have a Versus you want us to go after, let us know, leave a comment, send us a tweet, Facebook message, however you want to get a hold of us.
These are fun. And these are two independent Midwest breweries where I think and the price points were similar, where on the last episode it wasn't like that at all.
No.
Yeah. One was like a big conglomerate. The other one was just like, the boys down by Sox Park.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fun to do both of these. We will probably not go Chicago versus Chicago brewery, but that's just
or we might.
We might, but it's more fun to explore how people outside of Chicago are maybe taking a take on some classics we see here.
Yeah.
We drink every day.
And we, and like we said, double IPA with honey. I kind of want to know what other people are doing side by side. I went to it was a rooftop party to watch the fireworks where they had a bottle share where you could only bring beers with peach in them.
Oh, okay.
Right. So people are doing
So do you bring Sure Bet?
theme specific. That's mango.
Oh, that's
People are doing theme specific tastings. So anybody watching, I'm just kind of curious to know, hey, we did two lagers last time, and we're doing 2 IPAs with honey. We're kind of curious to know what other folks are doing. You know? Yeah.
So let us know. All right, I'll do it. Take care.
Cheers.